Creature Commandos, Episode 3. Cheers to the Tin Man, yeah! It's a G.I. Robot episode. Are we just going to do that for every character? Or they're going to get their standalone episodes? Is that what we're doing? We did Bride. We did Rick. This one is just G.I. Robot. Who does that leave left? Weasel, Phosphorus, and Nina? Are we going to see standalones for them? I don't know. I like the show. I'm not in love with it by any stretch of the imagination. The things I see online, and it's probably just like how my algorithm exists, is that people are obsessed with the show. Like, this is the best thing ever. And it is very good and very interesting and plays into the strengths of James Gunn as a writer and does the thing he likes. I think maybe because it's very predictable and very much in line with the things he has done before, with all of the stuff he's done in comic book land, it doesn't feel interesting in some ways to me. Like, there are stuff in here I really like. And this episode does some stuff I really like. I think using G.I. Robot as a character to tell both like a story in the past and the present, that's a really interesting thing to do. The mindless violence of it all, I could take it or leave it. Like, I think the most interesting part of that is how strong the animation looks. Like, it has so much going for it. A very distinctive style, very interesting vibe. I dig that a lot. Some of it, I could take or leave. The other thing is, like, this feels like it could have been like a film, if that makes sense. And some of the stuff that we have shown for like the characters' backstories could be flashbacks to each character, giving them a piece of, like, you know, history to the world that they are drawn to. I know why it's a TV show and how we're doing it episodically, where each episode's for a character. Because it was a movie, if we like had the Bride stuff when she goes to this place, and then the G.I. Robot stuff when he does this thing, it could get really annoying. But I don't know. I feel strongly towards it. It just doesn't do anything to make me go, oh yeah, this is changing the face of everything I've wanted, like, DC to be. It's not. Like, this is coming out after we had a trailer for Harley Quinn Season 5, and I'm like, yeah, that show still exists too. The animation is just as good, you know? And I don't feel... I'm really excited when we see references to, like, Aquaman villain, Fisherman, and the Crimson Centipede, and Animal, Vegetable, Mineral Man. Like, that's cool, but just having a reference to a character from the comic books in your animated series doesn't impress me, because I have seen every single animated cartoon based on a comic book do the same thing. That's not, like, new or interesting. Saying they're in this universe in animation doesn't blow me away. It's not like you're doing Calendar Man in live action, where I'm like, that's a choice you made that they let you do. Of course you're doing something in animation. I want to talk positively about this, but I'm just like, yeah, this is just James Gunn doing a character that's going to die, showing you, like, the life he's lived. And that's what this is. Most of this is flashback. The stuff that takes place in the present day is the team showing up to the castle where the Bride and Nina are. That's pretty much the present day stuff. Like, they take them down, the Bride gets tied up, it's like a trap, and then they go, like, attack the castle where the princess is. Big fight ensues there. And then, yeah, like, they trap Nina in, like, some barbed wire bathtub so she can't escape. It's pretty clever, like, I gotta say. Like, some of that stuff's pretty clever. And then, like, the modern day stuff kind of ends with, like, Weasel and Dr. Phosphorus burning and killing, not killing, but, like, brutalizing Cersei in a way we weren't really expecting. Up until this point, it's been pretty, like, cheeky and fun, but she is burned and hurt badly by these monsters, because it's a Creature Commandos. They're going to hurt her. They should hurt her at the very least. That's what they should be doing. And they do. So I like that. She's like, you fools, you doomed us all. And we've been getting, like, glimpses into what does that mean specifically to what's coming up in the future of the DCU. Whatever. Most of that fight is G.I. Robot killing, like, the Nazis with, like, big guns. And he, like, reveals that he can, like, hover and get, like, multiple weapons exuding from his body. Two things about G.I. Robot I like. The design's awesome. Like, it's just so classic 20s, 30s idea of a robot. It's cool. I know he's from World War II, but you know what I mean. And Sean Gunn's voice work, surprisingly good. surprisingly good for this character. And then that's fun and dandy, and I like it. And it's like an assault on a castle, and like, you know, the sons of Themyscira like threaten to like the princess, and that's like whatever. I like all the flashback stuff a little bit more. Not only does it build out the world, which I think is kind of important and does something these other movies have been afraid to do, but it just feels more interesting and something I like. I love like the fallen soldier who doesn't know what to do with his life now. So in like the actual timeline of events leading up to the present day where G.I. Robot dies, I'm just going to say it, he dies. Like, of course he does. What more use are we getting out of the robot that kills Nazis aside from him saving the day in one sequence? He has to die. It's fine. I'm fine with it. His relationship with like Nina, that's kind of built up in like one sequence before that, it should feel more impactful to me, but it's James Gunn. Like I think from the moment they had their interaction, you could tell that one of them was going to die. Of course, it was going to be the robot. It's a fucking robot, you know? But the timeline, it's World War II, and G.I. Robot is given to Sergeant Rock and Easy Company. We do have Sergeant Rock appear in this episode, and all of Easy Company is there too. They are ambushed by Nazis. G.I. Robot kills them. They celebrate with him. The world's great. The war is over now, and it's 20 years later, and they're kind of like shipping G.I. Robot around like the world to like different fairs and festivals for people to be like, look at this Nazi killer that we have. A really fun sequence where he's like put on television. He like says that the host might be a Nazi because he says something that a Nazi would say. It's incredible, and the military is like, well, we're not going to do these road shows anymore, so maybe you, Mr. Will Magnus, would be interested in experimenting with G.I. Robot. And we get Will Magnus, folks. In this one episode, we get Sergeant Rock and Will Magnus. I like both those characters. I like Will Magnus a lot. I am a big fan of the Metal Men. It's one of those things that I think DC does really well, which is just the scientific atomic age heroes just based on random crap. Like Metamorpho is in there too. The Doom Patrol is in there. Just these guys that are just perfectly of an era that we don't do stuff with. So I like that the Metal Men are being teased. Will Magnus, also voiced by Alan Tudyk, kind of just goes, you're a weird robot. I'm trying to build weird robots over here. Here's like my like chalkboard full of the elements I want to make of robots and metals and stuff. I'm going to use you for experiments. So that's all we get of Magnus. He'll come back. But if that's the 60s, because it's 20 years after the war, how old is he going to be? Not that it matters. Science-y stuff, it doesn't matter. If the Metal Men are a product of like the 60s to 70s to 80s, that's fine. That's fine. We haven't met Moro yet. He'll probably show up at some point. I like... This is the thing I really like. If you're going to do a show set in the DC universe, have the characters showing up be characters from DC, you know? Like, we all know what we're here for, so just do it. Then we cut to, I guess, sometime closer to the present day where G.I. Robots just become a piece of war memorabilia that this collector has. He turns him on one day, and he just starts to live with him and his cast, just like living in a moment. It's kind of cute. You're like, oh, this is like G.I. Robot finding retirement in his old age. And then he realizes this guy is like a Nazi sympathizer, and he goes to like a party thinking that G.I. Robot could like help them with the New World Order, and then G.I. Robot kills all these innocent men who are Nazis, and good. Like, let's make it clear. He's killing Nazis. As soon as the Nazi propaganda shows up, he's killing everyone in the room, and then he gets sent to jail under, like, Operation M or whatever that stuff is. And that is the story of G.I. Robot. I don't need any more. He dies saving Nina and his friends. That's all I need. I'm good with the rest. Look, it's fine. It's good. It's strong. It works. At the end of the day, what like a continuity-driven DC universe needed was something that works. And this seems to be working. For like the hardcore fans, there's the Crimson Centipede for you. If that means anything, it shouldn't. I don't care if you're excited about it. That's not a character anybody gives a shit about. They threw that in for no reason. It's fine. I don't care. Moving on. But the implications that there's a Wonder Woman and Aquaman out there. Yeah. I know. Doesn't matter though, because it's not like they've been cast yet. Look, it's fine. It's a good show. I like it. Maybe I'm just worried that this is ultimately going to lead to nothing, and they're just saying there's implications, whatever. Cool idea with a robot, and if this was just 7 episodes of a weird limited series, it's fine. It's cool. Was this review good? I don't know. I need nothing else from G.I. Robot maybe ever in my life. Like, you gave me everything I'd want. Unless we do the Sergeant Rock movie and he's a character. But I'm fine with whatever. Alright, that's going to do it for this episode of Creature Commandos. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.